8:16. Well, last week, New York State became the first state to roll out a vaccine passport.
And it allows people to verify their vaccine status to businesses and anyone else who needs it. But there are concerns about whether this will compromise people's privacy, also data protection. And some are questioning whether it's even ethical. So we have attorney Leeza Garber joining us now.
Hey, Leeza.
Good morning, Mike and Alex. Great to see you.
It's good to see you. So how would this work? It's a QR code?
Well, the apps that we've seen so far in New York State and then one emerging as a trial in Las Vegas as well. So they're both a little different. It's kind of similar to the COVID tracing, contact tracing apps as well. We had different ones popping up all over the United States. So because there's no regulated standard, they could be QR codes. It might be something different. Right now, the two we've seen are QR codes that you just show your entertainment venue or your employer, and they scan it and make sure you've either been vaccinated or you have a recent negative test.
So basically the card that you normally carry will be transferred to a QR code, and that way folks can just scan it quickly instead of just carrying around the card. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. When you see a passport, I mean, it looks real. I mean, it has threads running through it and all that. Aren't we going to need that kind of thing? And I mean, what's the point? What is the point of a vaccine passport? Just to prove that I am fully vaccinated, right?
At its best, it could be a passport to normalcy. We'd see people showing up and showing they're clear and ready to be part of huge public entertainment or go back to work, go back to employers can require it, universities can require it. Rutgers was actually the first university in the US to require proof of vaccination or a negative test. So at its best, it's a passport to normalcy. At its worst, it could be a surveillance or privacy nightmare. So really the question is, what kind of regulations will state governments or even the federal government put into place? We've seen in the past 100, 200 years, the Supreme Court and state governments have required vaccination proof before. We saw it with smallpox, and we've seen it for other public health crises. So it's not unheard of.
It's not unheard of, but a lot of people don't like it, including the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. Here's his comment on it.
And if you do a vaccine passport to say, yeah, you know, if you want to go to a movie theater or you want to get on a plane or you want to do that, that is a bridge further than we have ever gone in this country, without question. And it's a little bit different saying that versus saying, you know, hey, with a measles or somebody in a school setting, which is obviously, you know, could be very problematic. So we're not going to do it.
So big government, too much in my business.
Exactly.
Leeza.
And the problem is we've seen with different app rollouts, we saw it with the COVID contact tracing apps and even with online voting apps, there have been huge security problems. And we've seen major breaches of healthcare information, social media information. So as the public, we have a right to be very concerned about our private data. And in this case, it's our healthcare data, which is extremely private. So the problem right now is what will be regulated, right? And employers, private employers can certainly request this proof, but there's a balancing act.
Well, Dr. Fauci certainly spoke on this, saying this isn't really a government thing. Here he is.
I doubt that the federal government will be the main mover of a vaccine passport concept. They may be involved in making sure things are done fairly and equitably, but I doubt if the federal government is going to be the leading element of that.
Would you agree?
Fauci's point is well taken. There are certain groups of people that are very hesitant to get the vaccine, whether it's because of political views or healthcare concerns. There are certain groups of people like pregnant women and children that it haven't been tested on, so they have a right to be concerned about the vaccine as well. There definitely is great scientific proof so far, but people have their own beliefs. It's not as if some government official is going to come to your house and forcibly jab you in the arm, but in the end, you could be denied access to certain venues and employers and things like that.
Yeah, there's the rub right there. Some people just don't want to take this vaccine, and would that prevent them from flying or something? Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. Thanks, Leeza.
Thank you.
Thank you.